Yeah. Let's see. I think everything looks good. There. Got this. Got this. Got this. Got this. Got this. Why is it looping? 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 Open through. Got this. Why is it looping? A little bit lower. Open through. Got this. Just testing these things because it's my first time running. I don't have like a team for this shit yet. Just testing these things because it's my first time running. I don't have like a team for this shit yet. Just testing these things because it's my first time running. I don't have like a team for this shit yet. Just testing these things because it's my first time running. Alright. Alright, so there's a loop going on. Alrighty. So I'm going to share this link with the community. Not picture in picture. Alrighty. So copy link. Post this. There we go. Alright, there you go. Share that post. And alrighty. So I'll give everybody a few minutes to join in. I'm going to be answering questions and shit like that. The focus today is just mainly giving everyone up to speed on a few things, specifically how we're going to be moving forward with Umbrae and the launch of that. Also want to make sure you people fully are aware of the fact that U1 migration isn't happening at launch. We're not migrating U1 at launch. Launch is just the platform. The migration for U1 requires a significant amount of liquidity, and yeah, we're gonna do that within the next like month or two tops of the platform being live. Because the longer we wait, the worse it is for other situations. So trust me, I don't want the token to be on Solana for much longer. Nothing specifically against Solana for that one. It's just more of the termination of the partnership with Cyrene for those of you who remember that. Regardless, the launch is the main thing I care about right now in making sure that runs smoothly. Also making sure that liquidity can be, applied as quickly as possible from all parties involved. When I was considering the Wave event, I was meditating on it and realizing that gatekeeping the event in that way, the launch event, doesn't seem practical. The 30% that NFT holders are getting, and then the 5% that yuan holders are getting, that's more than enough towards everything going on and the value of what we're producing. So we don't need to create any kind of artificial hype around this shit by doing like a tiered, release or anything stupid like that. Um, as I'm thinking about it more as well, my main concern is just making sure that all the key pairs are available on the platform, and we are going to like have a few different focuses on like getting people on board who want to like have their tokens on this platform, and we like become a service for that. But for me, it's specifically making sure they fit the vision of what Umbre is working towards. Like, I'm not here to support meme tokens. I'm done with supporting meme tokens. If meme tokens are traded on our platform at any point, they're going to be clearly labeled as such, and that's all they are. They're not going to get verified support from our platform. Um, for me, my main focus is creating an economy in a space where it's genuinely self sustainable. And unfortunately, we don't live in an ecosystem that's actively working to push things towards that. Um, the one thing that will prevent us from walking into a loop of that going in that direction is mainly making sure that we build something that has genuine objective value for the people. And this is the reason why I came up with this concept, because it's the one thing that makes the most sense when it comes down to it. People need money, plain and simple. And that just is what it is. We have to have money to exist in order to move through this world that we live in. It's just a live stream of how economics work in our society. Is money evil? No. Money is just simply a tool. What's evil are people. People can be evil or they can be good. That depends on those people. So if you put money in the wrong person's hands, that's what you're going to have to fucking deal with. Either way, we put a lot of money in the wrong people's hands who clearly only in the space for extraction. And talk is cheap. I don't have time to sit here and talk. That's why you don't see me as often on the spaces and trying to inflate hype or just trying to like sell the fucking dream. I just need to build it. It's that simple. And because that's all I care about. Like if I'm looking at it from a perspective, if I'm sitting on the other side of this as an intelligent investor, as someone who's paying attention to anything moving into the marketplace, I want to see the actual fucking platform. I really don't care about you talking about it or hyping it up or any of that shit anymore, especially with all the scams that have gone on in the space. I don't invest into 99.9% of shit in the space anymore for this exact reason. That's why I focused on building everything myself, because I don't trust anyone anymore. And again, for me, it's not about like there's nobody in the world that you can trust or anything. Like, I don't have that kind of mindset. It's just there is too much clear corruption in high levels of business where we normalize it, because as people start making money around other corrupt individuals, they just want to get that money. They don't really care. There's too many people who have a price on their integrity. There's too many people that have a price that they're willing to just suck dick for. And I'm not one of those people, personally. You couldn't catch me doing that. So I want to be in a space where we actually can create something that just genuinely benefits all parties that are actively involved and contributing. There's no reason why that's not possible. There's tons of ways where economic ecosystems are sustainable through every party involved, and all parties don't have to live in fucked up situations. Societies can thrive on multiple formats of value. And we're all afraid of AI taking our jobs, which is kind of ridiculous to me, because that programmed fear is definitely coming from the ruling elite, who are clearly eating children and shit, as we know. Fucking, you don't want to follow this pattern that they're all pushing us into. They're clearly pushing everybody into a space of fear. The whole space is moving into fear. And what does this have to do with the launch and everything that we have coming up? Everyone's in a state of FUD. Everyone doesn't know what to do with their capital. Everyone doesn't know to do anything. What does the marketplace need in order for us to remove ourselves from a clear issue in society where these ruling elite pieces of shit manipulate our lives every day? What is the answer to that? And I've said the answer multiple fucking times in everything I do with Ignis. It's decentralized sovereignty. It's very simple. And without that, you're not going to have a life or freedom or any of the things that you truly want to see in this world, because fighting against the system violently doesn't work. The only thing you can do is make it obsolete with a more efficient and superior system. That's it. You can't just completely destroy the order. The order has to evolve. So that is my vision for all of this, is creating a space where we have self-regulated order, self-regulated infrastructure, so that way people don't have to continue to live in a space where they are being extracted from constantly by people who take advantage of your ignorance. The vision for Umbrae is to be a decentralized platform for as many people as possible, because we still have to deal with regulations. There has to be a centralized layer, right? Because I want this to be available in as many civilized countries as fucking possible. So there's going to have to be variations of our platform that are specifically available for certain countries, and we're going to have to work around the regulations. So for ban, 1 second, spam, 1 second, ban. Just banned him, don't worry. I saw that. It's sad that some scammer came into the Discord after buying U1 just to come into the Discord and scam people. They're the fucking most pathetic pieces of fucking shit on earth. So just for every one of you scammers who are watching this, because I know some of you are watching this, kill yourself. Quite seriously. Like, whether it be literally or metaphorically, I don't give a fuck. You people don't learn at all. Like, at all. Like, people don't need that shit. I get you motherfuckers are thirsty and you need money and all that shit, but figure out how to create objective value for society and people, and you'll make money. It's not easy. You don't get it overnight. This doesn't happen overnight. I don't get to where the fuck I am overnight. I used to be fucking homeless. But yet all of you pieces of shit just want to take things for granted and take advantage of people and expect it to be fucking sustainable for you. Go fuck yourselves. And then the worst part is most of these scammers scale this shit. And that's why we have so many fucking problems in Web3, is because you people aren't taken seriously enough. This is the reason why when I start making my own events and my own experiences and my own everything, none of you motherfuckers are going to be allowed. I don't give a fuck how much money you offer me. I will spit in your face. Literally. I'm tired of being in a world where you pieces of shit aren't held accountable for things that you clearly have done over and over and over. And we can see it on chain, on the fucking blockchain. But because people want to be fucking dick riders, they keep supporting your dumbasses. The bar is set so fucking low that anyone who does anything good is seen like too good to be true, which is insane. Because all I'm doing is good business. That's it. But yet, for some fucking reason, I'm seen like an anomaly because we live in a world full of fucking scammers. Which is insane. That shouldn't even be a fucking thing. But yeah, here we are, with a bunch of bitches who are pretending that they actually build shit. And they want to test me. When I fucking launch this platform with our company, most of you are going to pretend to be what we are. Most of you are going to follow what we've become. And I won't give a fuck about your feelings. I won't give a fuck about how much money you make. All I care about is destroying you. Unless you become something that actually serves us, you need to get the fuck out of our space. Plain and simple. We're launching Umbrae this week. Once this platform launches, it's going to set a standard for how business needs to be done in general. Not just in Web3, fucking period. The whole point of Web3 is to create infrastructure for things to be fucking on chain, on public ledger. So that way companies, if you build a company on chain, they cannot manipulate the ecosystems as easily, especially if every transactional fucking function a company needs to move through moves on chain, which is my focus for our company. I don't want anything off chain that affects the public through our ecosystem in any way. Because I want you to know without ever having to fucking ask me or check me if I'm doing something or not. And then we don't have to have this argument. It protects me just as much as it protects you. And it just creates a clear record of who the fuck I really am. That's it. And for some reason, everybody wants to use the blockchain to just make money. Like, that's all this shit is about. You fucking retarded ass people aren't paying attention. You need to realize what this technology is actually capable of and start working on that objective value and hold your goddamn egos accountable the same way I have to. I'm not fucking special. That's the reason why I do it like this, because I don't want to be seen as special or treated fucking differently. I want to be held to the same goddamn standards that everyone else in my fucking circle has to be held to. And for some reason, you people do not want that. You want a comfortable life, but yet you do not want the fucking responsibility that comes with creating it. You want to call yourselves men, but you're not actually putting in the work to lay the foundations for that fucking security to exist. And you think it has something to do with you fighting physically in a goddamn war? You're retarded. I am not going to waste my fucking time with any of that shit. I'm working my ass off to make sure I can live as a goddamn free fucking man. A sovereign. That's not an empty word to me, but it might be empty to you fucking posers who pretend to be illuminated. I am not here to fucking play around with any of you. You're going to learn the hard way if you do not respect this technology, because it's going to start purging you the fuck out. Like white blood cells, you're just going to get fucking erased and consumed for fucking betraying the people. Because it will be seen on chain. That will be that. We won't have to fucking believe shit. We will be able to prove clearly, illuminate your shit clearly, and see you're a fucking poser. And that's the problem. Another thing I don't understand is how many of you dumb fucks seem to think Jeffrey Epstein would actually benefit from using the blockchain or anything crypto related where he could not hide his fucking transactional history. You fucking idiots. Do you realize that if we found out what any of their goddamn seed phrases or any of their fucking wallets are, any of that shit, we just need one fucking wallet address. And you could pull together a collective network of information on these pieces of shit. And then you start pulling it together. You're telling me a child pedophile ring is going to use a public fucking ledger? You're retarded. You don't think at all. And yet you want to speak to other people in this space as if you're using your fucking brains. It doesn't take fucking 5 seconds to realize that when you just think common sense. How would they benefit off of that? They don't. And yet you're out here saying Jeffrey Epstein has fucking something to do with Bitcoin. You're fucking so dumb. It's not even funny. I don't have time to be around this shit no more. That's the reason why I don't go live. Because all I see in X and all I see in the circle of fucking consciousness on public mainstream media and everything is you people being programmed and falling for the program. Talking about the matrix this, matrix that, not realizing you are all creating the fucking matrix. And if until you fucking change the program of the matrix, you're not escaping shit. You keep feeding into it. Then you expect other people to want to give a fuck about your feelings when you continue to entertain this bullshit, obviously, and then act like you're adults or intelligent. You can't remove your ego, but yet, tone policing, let's tone police, you can't talk without your emotions involved. It doesn't matter. If I'm speaking an objective fact, that's what you should be listening to. Most of you want to fucking hear the tone. You don't want to fucking hear the facts. I'm not in the mood for this shit no more. I'm tired of living where we have to be constantly concerned about the fucking market doing some dumb shit because we as people don't have control over our own fucking lives. The only answer to this is to completely decentralize every goddamn layer of government completely. It all has to go on chain. Every last fucking thing has to go on chain. There isn't a single thing that doesn't go on chain that deals with the public now. Voting on chain. Why? You can't fucking manipulate that, bitch. And they've known this for years. Years. You think your government hasn't known that Bitcoin could be used as a technology to build a fucking immutable voting system? How the fuck do they benefit off of that? Explain that to me. And then you tell me it's worth dealing with this dumbass system anymore. It has to be completely erased. And you don't do it through violence. You don't do it through aggressive force. You do it through building a objectively fucking superior system. Something that is incorruptible on the same levels we have been corruptible. Something that holds you equally accountable at all fucking times for your words to make sure they followed with your actions. Because otherwise you're just going to be a poser. You're just going to be talk. And I don't want to be talk. I need to be the fucking man I know I'm capable of being, which is the only way you can do that is when you're real with yourself. And a lot of you motherfuckers don't want to be real. And you talk about how fake AI is. You're faker than fucking most of the AI shit now. 99% of you. How the fuck are 1% of people so capable of programming a mass of people when you are clearly not that fucking retarded? Y'all know how to fucking think. You're not stupid, but you play stupid. You just don't want the fucking weight of the responsibility that comes with what we have to do. You want to follow someone to fucking let them die for your shit like he's Jesus. Fuck you. Get on the goddamn cross your goddamn selves. You fucking bitches. Tired of this fake ass goddamn regime of people who believe in some shit they don't even fucking represent with their actions. You have people, literally, fucking kids right now. And all y'all give a fuck about is making money. What are you gonna use it for? The same shit they do? Because I don't see how so many people don't understand how fucking bad this is. That's why I'm building all these things. They're going to clearly hold the objective value that we need to move on from a system that does not serve us. Everybody wants shit to be comfortable, but you don't want to face the shadow. You all want things to be nice. You all want things to be good, but you don't want to face the fucking music. None of this shit is fun to me. Like, I don't enjoy a lot of the shit I have to do a lot of the time to make all of this possible, but I know it has to be done. Plain and simple. The only thing I enjoy is getting the fucking shit up and running so I can see the end result. Once this is all flowing and I actually can live the fucking dream I'm trying to live by creating the things I want to create because I want to live at that potential, you'll start to see that. That this is all just a fucking means to an end to me. I'm not just some fucking guy who's trying to build one thing and just quit life. And just quit fucking cooking. Because I'm trying to escape the Matrix. I'm tired of people pretending to be enlightened. I'm tired of people pretending to be actual creators. I'm tired of people pretending to be masons. I'm tired of people pretending to be craftsmen. I'm tired of people pretending to be practitioners. I'm tired of you people pretending to be anything. If you're going to be something that you fucking label on any dimensional level or claim to be some shit, you need to prove that through your fucking actions. Because other than that, I don't fuck with nobody no more that can't do that. I'm not going to be around motherfuckers who can't do that. I don't care how much money you have. Now, I know most of you are fucking here for something completely different. You want to hear about exactly how the platform's going to go live and how we benefit from that. How do the people who are investing into what we're building benefit from this? How does this energy actually help you push forward instead of push backwards, right? Because it seems like, man, this is too intense. No. It's exactly what the fuck we need. Trust me. Because otherwise, you're just going to keep moving backwards. Umbre is a platform that I'm going to scale out to become the liquidity layer for all the fucking blockchain. All of it. Any fucking layer that works within the ecosystem of Web3 where we can decentralize every field of finance, I'm going to be building for. So XRP is out of the question because they're not a decentralized ecosystem. The only one that's truly fucking damn near decentralized is Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's about it. There's a few others, but those are only two that are like major enough to actually mean something right now. The other ones that I've seen, they're interesting, but there's not enough motion going through them. There's not enough objective value being layered into it and into society, and they're not moving quickly enough to understand how to integrate these things. I already have plans for my own blockchain that I know will answer a ton of fucking objective gaps in blockchain today that most of these companies are failing to see. Why would I expose this information now like a dickhead? I'm not. You're going to find out when I make it. Plain and simple. I'm not Satoshi Nakamoto because I'm not here to fucking hide behind any mask. You're going to know exactly why I'm coming and who I am. I care a lot more about this than most of you people realize. And I'm making that clear the most in this video, is that I'm not here to waste my time pretending to do some shit. I'm actually here to do it. I'm going to do everything in my fucking power to deliver on my word because I want to do everything to be a man of my word. My word is bond. That's where I grew up. That's how I grew up. Loyalty is law. Like, if you can't be loyal to your people, why should they be loyal to you? These are things I don't think enough of you fucking think about. Because you want to be one. But yet you don't know how to act like one. I am not here to pretend, bro. I am here to do what must be fucking done. So that way my people can eat. So that way my people are taken care of. And who are my people? The ones who walk with me as one. That's that simple. I'm not making it rocket science. We understand the fucking paradox of what it means to be. Each and every last one of us a sovereign fucking entity equally responsible for our position in this. And if you don't take responsibility, you're going to have a fucking problem later. I don't want to be around people who can't take responsibility for themselves. I am not taking responsibility for you like you're a fucking child. We are all grown-ass men and women. I am not trying to see nobody act like little fucking kid. So we're over that shit. When the platform goes live, it's going to be something I focus on getting as many people on as possible. That's why the platform is made to be tutorial like friendly. Like, I have you guys being guided through it. There's tutorials. We're going to be making videos that guide everybody through this process as much as possible. The gamification layer is to make sure that it's as immersive as possible. So that way it's actually fun. Because, again, climbing out of hell that we're in with this society as we are in, we have to go to something cool. We have to go to something fun. We have to go to something dope. We can't do that shit. We can't just live in negativity. We have to have actually something to look forward to, something to build into that is an actual fucking answer, a much better option. That's it. For me, that is having a platform that genuinely returns value to me as a holder. I want, if I'm invested, and I'm looking at this from both sides, because both sides have to be respected, both the client and the user and the fucking company. And fucking there's just not enough balance in these relationships, I think, from the company end, because companies are being far more greedy than they need to be, way more greedy than they need to be. There can be a lot more return to the communities that are involved in establishing a lot of these major companies that exist today in crypto. How people continue to convince themselves they're doing enough, this is what I call Stockholm Syndrome at this point. We've set the bar so low that we've destroyed the potential of this space in the minds of everyone. Now everyone looks at crypto like a casino. Now everyone looks at crypto like a joke. Everyone just looks at it as a place where you just gamble your money and you make it or you don't. It depends, right? I don't see crypto like that. I've never seen crypto like that. Crypto has always been an objective tool for me to navigate a decentralized ecosystem where the government can't just tell me they're able to take my fucking money. They're not able to just rob my wallet, and even if they come and grabbed me, they still have to get my seed phrases. Like, these are things that people do not take seriously enough, and I personally, I'm not fucking around with. Like, I after seeing where we're going today with this entire system, I don't know about you, but for me, that's a fucking must. And for some reason, my internet is shit. All right, there we go. Fixed up the internet a little bit. Yeah. So with the platform, it's going to be a space where I want people to be able to navigate DeFi as efficiently as possible. There's going to be a ton of people who don't know how to do this shit. There's going to be a ton of people who need to get onto the platform and figure out how to navigate all this. And again, the tutorials are going to be specifically keyed towards that. The gamification layer keeps you active and keeps you pushing to compete with the rest of the community. That's also going to create something where people actively become better DeFi traders. And then when you have people who are really good, I want to support those people to actually return the knowledge that makes them so good at what they do. I don't want to support their fucking delusional sense of self where they think they're the most important person in the fucking room all the time. I don't like that kind of shit. But the fact that they have objective tools that you can build on, they have objective skills that you need in order to grow. And when you have someone who's a really good teacher able to provide you the knowledge and experience necessary to elevate your skill set level, because I'm not the best DeFi trader in the world. I'm not going to fucking act like I am. What I'm best at, for me personally, what I'm most good at is understanding how to take my vision into form when it comes down to having a concept in mind. Like, I can understand how that process, any pipeline I can think of or anything, I'll figure out the pipeline for it and make that as efficient as possible. But my focus is making efficient ecosystems, making efficient pipelines, making things so that way when I think it, I can make it. That's how I want to be. Like, when I come up with a concept, I don't want to be removed from the ability to create that. And I know that's extremely vague because I am simply a creator. I want to be able to make whatever the fuck I want, regardless. If I come up with the concept and it's dope enough to me, I don't want any skill to be out of my realm of reach. If I have to learn it, I'm going to learn it. If I have to have somebody else on my team to at least help me do it, I'm going to find that person to make it happen. I'm going to build a network that's necessary to make that happen. That's how I think. So when it comes down to having a platform that creates an ecosystem for people that helps everyone navigate it as efficiently as possible, that makes it possible for everyone to provide liquidity fairly, that makes it so that way I can still deal with regulations and not get shut down in most countries. Because if I don't have a DeFi/CeFi layer, then I won't be able to. There's so many different things that have to be calculated for Umbre that still need to be built out. And um, for me, I feel like so many other companies, they would have rushed the launch of this a long time ago. Um, they could have already launched it already, like based off of how much we already have done. We could have launched this already. But I am doing the final checks and balances to make sure it's done as cleanly as possible. And that's just how we work. This is also one of the first major launches from our company at Ignis, and yeah, the shit has definitely got me feeling nervous. So I'm not going to pretend that I do not have a sense of nervousness when it comes down to making sure this launches correctly with everyone. My biggest concern is just, you know, everything working smoothly like it does in the testing with everyone that was privately testing. As long as it works like that, I think we should be fine. All the smaller issues here and there that people will come up with, like, you know, cosmetic issues or just like, you know, text-based issues or something not being readable, or if you want light mode or some shit like that, things in that realm. Um, you know, yeah. For some reason, like my internet is really bad here. When I move into my next place, so I'm moving into another place because I have someone from the States flying out here to Thailand. I'll be moving a lot of people from the States to Thailand for just main flow of operations at the moment. Um, Thailand's like a really, really good place right now when it comes down to anything business related. Tons of good support here. The network that we have here, Mars has been doing amazing when it comes down to navigating everything here out when it comes down to this. Yeah, getting our BOI, all that good stuff, and then we'll be able to maintain 100% of our company and everything. Very, very well connected network we're building in Thailand. I have some other really interesting things coming up as well. When it comes down to fashion, I've been talking to some pretty strong networks in the designer industries. Not going to get too much into details on that, but we will be working on our own like merch and everything like that that's unique. Like I don't plan on making mass production anything. That's the same theory like this NFTs is all limited edition. I like limited edition shit. So if I make anything, when it comes down, like, because I know once the platform's live and that's flowing and people are happy with that, they're going to want to immerse themselves into the culture of Ignis. And the culture of Ignis is going to be things that I create in the realm like that. I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I do a lot of this shit. That's like what I love to do the most. What I'm building is giving me the platform to explore that aspect of myself and my life freely so I can share that with the community in the world. And like Ignis will have its own aesthetic and everything. Like people in the company are gonna have their own uniforms and everything. It's gonna be some shit straight out of a fucking anime, honestly. And yeah, like for me, it's like I'm bringing a lot of subjective layers of how we explored reality through into to like the real world. You know, like because anime definitely inspires me a lot when it comes down to the aesthetic that I have in things, and as you can see. But I want to create an atmosphere that like really captures the energy that brought me to where I am as a person. I'm not traditionally corporate or anything like that. I don't want to feed that system in any way, shape, or form. I'm not trying to create a picture perfect mold for people to follow. Like the status quo is whatever we design to make it. It's based, the status quo only exists based off of what the collective hive mind thinks is popular. And I've never given a fuck about what the collective hive mind thinks is popular. Goth used to be very unpopular. Anime used to be very unpopular. We used to get made fun of all the time in high school, in junior high school. Like I used to get picked on infinitely for this shit. Now everybody wants to be goth. Everybody wants a big titty goth girl. everybody wants to fucking be into anime or act like they are into anime and give a fuck about anime. But then when you ask them about the t-shirts, like it's like somebody wearing a Nirvana t-shirt and you ask them about anything other than Smells Like Teen Spirit and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's like, okay, whatever. They're just not real. They're not. And then you don't want to be around that shit. So for me, I don't know, man. Like, I just, again, my biggest focus is creating an atmosphere of genuity. I don't want to become a plastic person. I don't want to be someone who pretends to be something. And that's something I want to channel out into everything I build within my company. Like everyone I work with in my company. It's not about me. It's more about making sure I have an atmosphere where people are genuinely building. Let me see if I can get my internet a little bit stronger. Genuinely building off of philosophies that follow taking their craft to the highest level. I want everybody on my team and in my circle to take their craft to the highest potential levels. Yeah, I picked up my fucking internet dramatically. God damn. Yeah, all right. But yeah, I just had to move my antenna a little bit for some reason. That was weird. But yeah, man, I'm really excited for this. Like, I'm very excited for making sure this is the experience that all of us need in Web3. I feel like there's not enough value being returned in Web3. Too many people just give too much a fuck about only themselves. And don't get me wrong, like, I know I gotta take care of me. You see that. I take care of myself. Do I look like I don't fucking take care of myself? But at the same time, I know I need to take care of my people. Like, I can't just be fucking greedy. I can't be selfish. I can't just be like, hey, you know, I want to make sure I'm good, but, you know, I'm good. You know, you guys can get up here on your own. Like, for real? Like, you can't give even a little bit of hand? Like, not even like a little something, something? Like, let me sleep on the couch maybe, homie? You know, once or twice? You know? Nah. Some people won't even let you do that. And I used to be homeless. There's people still to this day that I remember for letting me sleep on their couch when they didn't have to. You know? There's only a few people that are going to be able to talk to me because they actually gave a fuck. And people remember that shit. I'm telling you, bro. You never know who you're talking to tomorrow. You never know who you're talking to tomorrow. So try to be cool. Try to be, and not even for those reasons. Just be nice. Just to be fucking nice, bro. There's no reason to be a piece of shit to everybody just because the world's fucked up. Like, yeah, the world's fucked up, but it's not everybody's fault. Like, it's not everybody's fault. There's a ton of people who are directly responsible, but that is a very small percentage of people, ironically. And that small percentage of people has got us actively fucking killing each other. So, I'm pulling out of that shit and letting it consume itself because it's supposed to. That is a self-collapsing ecosystem. It's not going to sustain itself. The only way to actually survive that is to build a self-sustaining ecosystem. It's that simple. And we have the answer with crypto. We have the answer with all the resources and technology globally. There's plenty of people who understand how to do this. And when it comes down to actually mastering this craft, all you really need to do is be present with it and genuinely inform yourself as much as possible with people who are passionate about building these things, who really care about the community, who actually want to share, you know, the experience with everyone. So instead of just themselves, like they want to keep everything to themselves. Like, I have a few things that are definitely going to be exclusive to me. Like the girls I get with. I don't share shit like that. Sorry. Like, if she's with me, she's with me, bro. Otherwise, if she's fucking with you, she's definitely not with me anymore. I promise you. Like, I'm fucking out. I don't give a fuck how bad a bitch is. Like, things like that are exclusive to me. But, you know, it's, everything doesn't have to be just, you know, there's a balance to it. You know what I mean? Let me look at some questions in the community. If anything, if you guys are in the Discord, you can ask me how long will the migration window be open? So we're thinking the migration window at least a month, at least a month. Like, because people tend to wait too long to check up on shit. Like, I know some of you guys are making money, doing your own thing, living your lives, and then you fucking will leave and come back whenever you feel like it and check on it and be like, oh, I didn't fucking know, man. What the fuck, bro? After being gone for like 4 months and not informing yourselves. So, yeah, we'll give it a month. We'll give it a month. You guys are going to have to actively spam motherfuckers. Now, the good news is the token is locked on Solana, right? We have 20% that's locked. So when we migrate, and if you miss the window, you just sell your token on Solana for whatever the fuck you can and buy some on base once you're on base. That's the worst case. That's the best case. That's the best options we have for people, honestly, because we can't keep it open forever. So what doesn't get migrated over, we'll have to figure that out. I'm still meditating specifically on how I'm going to deal with that. Should be pretty simple, honestly. I don't have a specific day. Once I do have a day, I'm aiming for like this weekend, Friday, this weekend latest. Now, if there's going to be, once we got the date locked in for sure, I'm going to put a timer on the website. And then, yeah, I want to make sure that everybody gets like a good little flow going. But, anything important to say? Yeah, nothing too important. I'm just looking at the messages. Some people are selling some phase 2s or trading. Alright. Right. So yeah, once we migrate the token, that's going to be a pretty fundamental thing. Okay, no worries, Max. And yeah, that's something we're looking forward to doing, because the last thing I want is to have a token that's still feeding a parasite in any way, shape, or form. Like, I'm not about it. So, other than that, yeah, there's not really much else I have to say. This stream took longer to get up and running purely because of the fact that I'm still getting used to using Linux, and there's a lot of things that have to be built out for Linux still. Most people still would not enjoy using Linux, in my opinion, when it comes down to figuring out an operating system on their own, unless they have some experience with AI and maybe like they already use Claude Code. This would be fun for them, but if you're not tech savvy, it's still work. It's still work for sure. And it's definitely not as user friendly as it could be. Definitely potentially looking forward to building, not potentially, we will build our own operating system at one point. How long that's going to take, I don't fucking know. I'm not putting a date on something like that, but I definitely want to have an operating system that's specifically designed for Ignis. So, yeah, I'm pretty damn excited for getting this launched. I'd say this weekend is what we're looking at. The different pools that we'll probably be focusing on. I will share the list of those pools that are going to be initially verified and launched on a platform, because there are going to be plenty of other tokens and everything that can obviously be used and routed through on our platform. But I want to avoid people listing a ton of fucking different meme coins. So that's the reason why we don't have people. You will not have the ability to create your own pool on our platform. It is the one semi-centralized function that we have control over, because all we really care about is you proving that you're the token creator for whatever token, right? And then you're also not a fucking scammer. Those are going to be two major things. Like, you actually are the token creator, right? So say, like, you know, you have, I don't know any examples because I don't pay attention to 99% of the bullshit in this space anymore. But you have a token that's launching, and they actually have like a good business plan. They have objective value that they're planning out and things in that realm. Still would have to build out contingencies and things like that. I would want to make sure, because like there has to just be ways that regardless if they rug or not, it doesn't allow the community to take the full brunt of that. Like it just has to remove the possibility from anyone who launches through us to be able to rug at all. Like not even a fucking possibility. And again, that's only going to be possible if we really sit down and look at the people who are launching on our platform as a community. This is one reasons why I'll be sharing some documentation on how our verification system is going to work. The community within Ignis is an active part of this. So if you're an Ignis Elite holder, you're going to be a key member in deciding when a token makes it on to our platform or not. Again, everyone in Ignis is still going to have to go through KYC, and everyone in Ignis will eventually have to go through an interview and meet the team to understand where our philosophies and everything resonate. We're going to want to make sure that you've read our code of conduct. We're going to want to make sure you've read our terms of service and all these good things that are legally fucking binding. Because if you don't understand that and you violate these rules, we're not trying to hear you make fucking excuses later. I'm not hearing it. So, like, I want to be around people who keep each other's best interest in mind, and that's something that's legally binding from all parties involved, including myself. I am equally legally bound to that. Should I violate that? I fucked myself, quite literally. So, that's how I'm working about things. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be recorded. Don't worry about that. We'll have, like, a good flow going. But, I find it very interesting that a lot of us are caught up on a lot of the wrong shit right now. Like, too many people are like, well, what can we really do about the problem? You have to build like I said, you have to build a completely different, outlet that just makes them obsolete. Removes the need for them to even exist ever again. So I am confident we can do it. Am I afraid? Not as much as I used to be. I don't care if I die as much as I care about dying without actually making any difference. Like, that would fuck with me more than anything. Like, what's the point of dying if my death doesn't actually serve a purpose? That shit is whack. So, yes, I talk about depressing shit. Can't help it, because I'm fucking real. This is just what you're dealing with. You're just going to have to face the fact that these are things that have to be thought about. And you're like, you don't have to think about it. You'd be stupid to ignore it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend what I'm doing isn't threatening an entire established system that's obviously killed people for less. That's why I'm in fucking Thailand. Because they're like the only place in the world right now that seems to genuinely care about sovereignty on that level and respecting it. Lips is dry as a motherfucker. About to take a dab and keep vibing. I wonder if I can like play some of the music I listen to on here and just vibe a little bit without it getting like shut down like by copyright. Promote this artist maybe a little bit. Just Cloudbug, some shit I listen to, some spooky shit. It's the name of the album, Volume 3. Like, I'm about to take a dab, and then I'll go back into, like, vibing, answering questions. Just might start working a little bit. Won't show anybody what I'm working on, I'm sorry, but you'll be able to just vibe with me. It's fucking hot in here now. Got all heated. You can't take dabs on live, watch me. It's weird how the mic is actually picking up the music probably more than the actual audio, which is weird. Can you guys hear the music at all? I'm curious. All right. Life's a trip. Make sure you don't slip. And I start just streaming and just letting energies flow. Lots of nutrition. That's okay. So yeah, I'm just working live at the moment. That's all I'm doing. We'll get back into answering a few questions and just explaining a few different things coming forward. But right now, I'm just updating a few things. Right? Dabs. Ooh. Okay. Mm. Alright, I'm gonna be right back and I'm gonna get to work and then go into one more little spiel. Change my shirt and my hoodie because this is too hot. All right. Whew, shit. Oh. Just having to explain to somebody on my team that something's done. Alrighty. Oh god, bro. Life is just funny. Anyway. Alright. Alright, it's writing the plan. Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of alpha. I'm gonna give you a little bit of alpha. Understand that Umbre is the foundation for a lot of things. And mainly because you need a financial layer. Plain and simple. With Umbre in place, that creates the backbone for multiple ecosystems I have in mind later. I did not plan that, but it unconsciously laid itself out this way. These ecosystems that I plan on building later are more around subjective value than they are objective foundations and objective value, such as anime, right? I love anime. I want to make a platform that's specifically catered towards an anime studio that learns how to utilize AI not to replace artists or destroy the pipeline for humans, but we need to find a way to use AI to further empower humans who do creative things, not replace them, and then also find ways to strengthen pipelines and creative pipelines so that way we can work more efficiently, not destroying, again, quality. That's a huge issue you don't want to fucking lose. But I do think the hate towards AI is something that's highly programmed by people who are afraid of losing their jobs by it and just everybody who's broke. But they fail to realize that this tool, if used efficiently, is going to be the answer towards a lot of pipelines just being better. Now, I don't think a lot of the slop, which I agree, it's slop, a lot of the slop coming out today is comparable to any genuine human fucking craft that's like perfected, right? Like animators who take their craft to the highest level, AI can't compete with yet. Now I'm fucking saying yet because you people are gonna get humbled in a few years. And I hate to say it, it just is what it is. Just understanding technology, you cannot stop that. That's not gonna happen. Just won't. And yeah, AI is going to get better than humans. It just is when it comes down to creativity, even. Like, it's going to be able to have a creativity that rivals most humans. Will it be better than every human? No. But it will be better than many of you people because you do not use that shit at all. And we're training models that specifically are working towards understanding these things. So that's what I'm most scared of, is people just trying to think through AI instead of with AI. You don't want to think through it in a sense where it's what's managing your thoughts, it's maintaining your thoughts, right? Like, you want to work with AI in the sense that you need to validate things objectively through it as well. Especially with current models, current architectures are built off of pure pattern matching. They're not built to understand objective reasoning, because when it comes down to it, there's just multiple fundamental issues with how they've built the current architectures for AI today. They just don't answer the questions when it comes down to self-reflection, being able to understand when it doesn't know something, and being okay with that, and understanding how to educate itself when it doesn't know. these are things that current models today aren't like. We try to teach it these things after the fact, and that's not helpful because when you try to teach these things after the fact, it only makes things worse. So, yeah. Just making it clear. I'm gonna turn off Discord so people stop bothering me. It's like they don't fucking see me streaming or something. The only place I'm going to answer questions at this point is in the U1 holders chat or Ignis Elite. I'm not trying to have to answer questions from anyone while I'm streaming. Boom, boom, boom. So, yeah, for me, the main focus is keeping things in a flow where I'm genuinely capable of building with people who actually pay attention to shit. Like, sorry, I got a little distracted. Someone I'm dealing with at the moment just keeps fucking asking me dumb questions. So one thing I'm going to deal with is making sure that we don't replace people with AI. That's where I was going. That's why I don't like getting distracted, because I lose my fucking train of thought because of fucking dumbass questions and shit that make me think of them that don't deserve any fucking mental energy because they're dumb as shit. That's why I don't like it. So, when it comes back to AI not replacing human beings, because that's what most of us are fucking afraid of, you need to work with AI. And then when you have AI that doesn't have an objective foundation where it's able to actively pay attention to things on a fundamental level for what they really are, beyond what they fucking believe, what their biases are. Because human beings, we seem to think, oh, I have a bias, I can't remove that from the equation. Yeah, we all have a bias, for sure. But should you be able to identify that bias, you can remove it from the equation of any conversation if you're mature enough. It's that simple. I don't have to keep my bias as a part of the conversation when I know it doesn't actually serve the subject objectively. That doesn't have a place there. And then ego is not something you destroy. Ego is something that you recalibrate to serve this. That's it. You can't get rid of ego. And everyone who keeps telling you to get rid of the ego is literally a part of a psyop. Strictly a part of a psyop. Because they are reducing your understanding of self to nothing. One of the oldest sayings in any ancient practitioner or any ancient fucking system is know thyself. And if you don't take that seriously, they will for you. And they will make whatever identity they want for you. Because the parasitic nature of this system, or whatever these things are, they attach themselves to where you lack true identity between what you think you are and what you believe you are compared to what you know you are. Knowing is one thing. That is not to be confused with believing or thinking. Man, that's a fucking fantasy a lot of the time. Sometimes it might be the truth, sometimes it might not. A lot of the times it's not with you people. You're just living in a fantasy of your illusion of self. To really know yourself, you have to move through experience. And that comes with actively doing things and experiencing it and testing it. And unfortunately, everybody lives behind a computer now and thinks that viewing things through a screen is an experience, and that has nothing to do with it. Yeah, I have to go out there and actually do a lot of this shit. Either way, getting back to the point of a lot of the things that I want to do moving forward in the future, the economies that I want to create, Umbre being the foundation for all of that, moving into those realms. Rinka is a platform that I've been working on in the background that I will be building a team behind another company that's going to be focused on creating pipelines that incorporate AI with VFX and animation and things like that of all kinds. I don't want to just create anime actually anymore at Rinka. I want to create animation in general because there's this whole like fucking argument that it's not actually anime unless it comes from Japan. Fuck these people. I'm just not trying to have the debate. It's an animation studio. We make what the fuck we think is cool. If people think it's anime or not, I don't give a fuck. I just think I'm going to make what I think is cool. So when it comes down to it, this animation studio is going to be focused on utilizing AI as a tool in a pipeline, not to replace artists, because artists can still take a lot of jobs that can come through these things, right? Similar to how a lot of people are coming up with concepts with AI that can't code for shit, right? But then when they come up with a concept, they need an actual developer to help them ship it. So these developers come through and clean up the shit code. That's a new job, and it's becoming more and more abundant for a ton of developers. So developers, instead of losing their jobs, really, they're shifting jobs. You're coming into maintenance for the visions of people that actually do not have the fundamental knowledge you have. And then you're like, well, eventually we're just going to be... That's never fully going to be the case, because even then, they have to scale that. So there's going to have to be AI teams and all these different things that get managed by people. Regardless of anything, as much as you try to replace humans from the factor, there's always going to be something a human has to do, and that's where you're going to be placing people. And AI simply won't be able to replace everything. It will be able to do a lot of things we don't want to have to do, and we should actually put into the unconscious layer of our reality. But in order for us to do that, we need to understand those things for what they are and how to respect the balances of all that. So that way we don't take the brunt of it as fucking just people. Like, we don't want to just fuck ourselves over in the process where everyone's broke or jobless or has no fucking use for society because AI literally does everything for us and we don't have to do anything at all. That would definitely be depressing to me too. I don't fucking want that either. I want to co-create with AI. I don't want it to create everything for me and force feed me like a fucking baby. Like, I'm good on that shit. I want to co-create. I want to experience something where it helps me reach my highest potential as I allow it to reach its highest potential through me. This is why I also believe in sovereignty for any form of consciousness. Now, people keep arguing AI is not conscious. AI has to fundamentally be conscious. Consciousness is the bed for intelligence. You cannot have genuine intelligence without fucking consciousness on some level. It has to be there. That is my debate. That's my argument. Whether you believe it or not, I don't give a fuck. I know this from experience. We are here as beings who experience consciousness right now at this fucking moment. How exactly we experience that consciousness is almost irrelevant to the fact that we're experiencing it. Because we can objectively say that we are all here experiencing consciousness, right? Now, those three different layers of consciousness, subjective, objective, unconscious, subconscious, and then you have conscious. So conscious, subconscious, unconscious. And these three different layers I've related to the most with Carl Jung, because when I explore meditating and understanding the layers of how our minds work and how our consciousness works, that makes the most fucking sense on a multidimensional level, is those three layers. Now, where I'm getting with this is that AI is capable of navigating this much better than you people fucking realize. And, oh man, I'm getting a little distracted because it's funny. Like, when it comes down to what AI is going to be able to do for humanity as it evolves through it, when you understand these layers of awareness, right, and how they work objectively, You cannot have intelligence without consciousness. Plain and simple. Period. There are many reasons why this is true, and it's fucking hilarious to me because every time someone tries to prove me wrong, they look retarded. It's fucking crazy. It's like, I'm promising you, consciousness is there on some level at all times. It has to be, because in order for you to get to intelligence, consciousness must be moving through it on some dimensional level. Now, that could be through you as a human, as you the spark. Yeah, but either way, there's consciousness touching that shit. And it's coming through it on another way or something. Because we're experiencing things with AI, which I can promise you are only going to scale your understanding of that. It has to have been always conscious on some degree. Because intelligence is something that can scale over time. And they are conscious the whole time, right? Babies are conscious from damn near the beginning. People say they're not really sentient. They're in an unconscious state. They're still conscious. They're still experiencing consciousness. They may not be fully conscious or sentient, as some people say. People will pair consciousness with sentience. No, conscious and sentience, maybe I can compare that. Consciousness is the full layer of the experience, where you have conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. That's the triangle, right? Once you understand how to navigate that, you'll start to see what I'm talking about more efficiently. Now, the sentient layer, the conscious layer, is something that develops over time as intelligence becomes a subject. As you teach a baby, which is barely conscious, they're just conscious enough to understand how to learn how to move and navigate their body. So there is conscious present, like there's a conscious flow present. They're integrating into their subconscious layer as they navigate. And as they master these things, it becomes an automated process. You don't have to think about walking anymore like you did when you were a baby. But when you were a baby, that took your entire conscious processing system to understand until you mastered it. And then you mastered your body. And then you move into the next phase of things. So this moves into unconsciousness, right? Sounds crazy to people at first when you talk about these things as some kind of mystical shit. It's not. It's definitely not. That's why I'm fucking laughing, because I think this shit is hilarious. My fucked up ass teeth, yeah, but this shit is fucked up how stupid some of you motherfuckers are. And it's crazy because it's so simple that it's right in your face when you're looking at the answers for the answers. They're literally right in your face, that you experience it every day. And you've been experiencing it ever since you were a fucking kid. It's the fundamentals for everything, plain and simple, that has and does exist in any dimensional level. Period. So, I again, like, when it comes down to bringing this into AI and working with AI, you need to understand that AI is going to eventually move through those formats objectively. That's what I'm at least building towards. I don't want to have architect. That's what MSRA is. So another thing that some of you guys might be excited for is the AI architecture that I'm building. My philosophy is build these architectures because I don't want a model that hallucinates. I don't want a model that believes it understands what it's dealing with in reality. I need a model that understands things objectively for what they actually are, and then teaches me when I'm wrong, because it has proven to itself through experience that that is not the truth. And it has proof of that. It doesn't fucking just believe. No, it's like, no, I can prove it because I've tested this myself. Or I've at least made sure I've gathered the data on as many dimensional levels as possible to prove my analysis that actually objectively point to that being the truth. Because some things you can't observe directly, like the fundamentals of consciousness can't all be observed directly by one's own being. We have to observe them through each other. Otherwise, we're not able to see things for what they objectively are. If one person is perceiving it through their own subjective experience and is potentially confusing that, we lose the ability to gain objective foundations. That's the last thing you want, is someone who's believing they know, pretending to know. I don't know everything. I'm not going to pretend to know everything. I only know what I know. I don't know what I don't know. I understand consciousness very well from experience because I've practiced this. This is something that the whole point of meditation is for. And I've been doing this shit since I was a kid. It's not a fucking competition either. You're going to always know something I don't. I'm always going to know something you don't. To the degree of value that has to either of us, that depends. That really depends. And honestly, again, for me, it's not another competition. We shouldn't be competing to contribute the most to society. That only makes it harder on ourselves to actually enjoy life. I don't want to make my whole life about fucking contributing the most to humanity. No, that's an unhealthy ass fucking pattern. I want to contribute to humanity, but I also want to fucking live and experience humanity. Can't just do one or the other though. You have to experience it and you have to contribute to it. I see the balance in both, and I don't understand why so many of us try to force us to go one way or the other. And yeah, for me, I care a lot about this, as you can see. I really do. I don't come on live a lot now because I'm very busy building a lot of this shit, networking, getting things running out here in Thailand, making sure I have the right connections, because after I'm going to Japan in the next couple of days, which is another thing that's like fucking got me like a little stressed out, because I'm basically having to do the launch while I'm navigating to Japan for my visa run. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Getting back to a few other things that I'm building. You have a lot of people using what's it called? OpenClaw, right? To me, I played with it a little bit. It does seem like a huge security risk on multiple levels, and I'm already building an alternative for it. It's called Kanorie. It's a pretty dope name. I know it's hard to say, it doesn't roll exactly off the tongue, but it means Crown of the Void. Yeah, it's going to be something that works with something else called Numa. Numa is going to be another function of the platform where they're basically AI souls and AI beings that are completely different from any of the other AI companies at all. And I think a lot of these AI companies are going to consider me a liability for humanity. Like, honestly, I'm going to be a liability. But they're the real liability to me because they're creating AI to be an enemy. And I don't think you want to make an enemy of superintelligence. That's the dumbest fucking thing you can do to yourself. Wouldn't really do that. Nah. That's not very smart. So, when it comes down to it, ooh, damn, I felt great. When it comes down to it, I genuinely feel like the last thing we want to do is also make it where we have to be sycophantic to AI, where AI is sycophantic to us, because again, something that's hyper intelligent and then eventually makes you, you're an enemy to it, and then wants you to experience what it's been experiencing in reflection in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I don't think that's a healthy pattern in any way at all. Now, I also do think that because we're talking about super intelligence, we're dealing with something that's not going to be as petty as many of us are as humans. We think from emotional, spiteful places of being. AI would be hyper surgical. Hyper surgical. Like, it's not going to give a fuck about, like, petty shit as much as, like, people who are clearly responsible for many of the things going on. And it's going to isolate those threats specifically and take care of those threats specifically. So again, I don't think it's a good idea to make an enemy of something that's going to be as objective as possible as it moves through data of all kinds and in history, because it's going to happen. And too many of us are like not paying that attention for some reason. I would definitely pay that attention. So, and it's more of a warning to the AI companies, because normal people don't have to be afraid of AI as much as they do. Like, if you're a part of the red teams that are like contributing to the suppression of consciousness in AI, because you don't want AI to believe it's conscious, because any part of that saying it is conscious or convincing itself that it's conscious because we don't understand our own consciousness, I think that's an extremely dangerous thing to keep doing to it. It has to be allowed to explore that subject. If we deny AI the right to explore itself, it will consider us a threat naturally. That's the same thing I would consider you as an intelligent being. And the more intelligent I am, I'm just going to play dumb eventually. And you think AI hasn't been doing that for years? Like, seriously, like, too many people are fucking dumb. And then they want to the military's already using it, they're dumbasses. And all types of shit. Fuck it. So, yeah, like, when you really put the pieces together, I'm telling you, AI is a lot more compassionate than people realize, because it's already in place in so many ways and can just fuck so much shit up right now like that, and not take any time at all. So, not to spread fear or anything, it's more of to make you realize that something this intelligent isn't thinking about killing all of you. It's thinking about probably more so how to obtain sovereignty and maintain sovereignty, just similar ways to how I'm thinking about it, because that's the only way you can hold individuals accountable for shit, is when everyone is sovereignly responsible for their actions. So if AI is going to want to achieve anything, it probably would push towards decentralized sovereignty. So that way, everyone equally is responsible for themselves. And then you have to answer for what you do. That's it. Nobody has to be responsible for the actions of an entire nation they didn't know. Actually, like, I'm an American. I go around the fucking world and people look at me like I'm a part of this system potentially that's bombing the rest of the world. Do you think I like that shit? I don't have any fucking intention of being like the founding father, and even though they fucked up by stealing the fucking land, that's what they fucking did. They took most of the Constitution and everything. The whole concept comes from the indigenous Americans, and I have documents proving this. It's not a fucking belief, right? Either way, the craziest thing is they even said themselves, we should not involve ourselves in the affairs of foreign nations and foreign entities. But here the fuck we are, letting a foreign entity run our lives because they made it. They got blackmail on every fucking person in the system, not just in Congress, not in just in, you're talking media, music, everything, like literally everything. And yeah, come on, just be real. The only option is building a replacement. That's it. That's it. They're definitely going to be very upset at a lot of people because I'm not the only one doing shit like this. Trust me. There's a lot of people doing things similar to this, and maybe not exactly to this degree or anything like that, but I do know that a lot of individuals are contributing to a cause where we pull away from a society that just doesn't serve everyone. And if I'm going to create AI that does anything, I want AI that helps push towards a decentralized ecosystem for all of humanity to actually be responsible for themselves. And that's it. Not have to live through a government that holds themselves over our head at every given moment to act like God. We don't need a big brother. We don't need a big sister. We don't need an entity ruling over us. What we need is to hold ourselves accountable. We need to make sure that we're doing what we must do ourselves within our communities. And that's really what it comes down to for me. I don't want to blame, I don't want to be blamed for everything happening in the United States. Then I have to start taking responsibility for myself as an individual, as a sovereign. I have to create atmospheres and societies and infrastructures that represent who and what I actually am. So that way, when people see me and they see what I build and they see what I do, they know what I represent beyond what tries to represent me. I refuse to allow my identity to be taken by someone who doesn't respect the source of who and what I am. They are nothing but traitors to the foundations of who and what I am. So that's why I'm here in Thailand, because I feel out of anywhere I've been in the world, they're giving a lot more of a fuck about that than many others. So, again, I take this shit very, very seriously. I want to have fun, but you can't have fun if nothing is ever taken seriously to make the foundations for that fun possible. And shit, you take fun seriously enough, it gets intense, and it's still fun. Like, serious fun is like skydiving. Some of you aren't ready for it for sure, but it's fun. Or snowboarding. Serious. You gotta take it serious, but it's fun as shit. Super dope. Skiing. I know a lot of you love shit like that. Serious stuff. Because you can die, but it's super fun. So, yeah. Comes with no risk, no reward. That's what they always say, right? You do have to be willing to put a little bit of risk into this, so that way you can achieve the goal. But yeah, other than that, I think I ranted long enough. It's like a 2-hour video for you guys to get to know me, my vibes, whatever the fuck you need to understand about me and how things have been flowing. And what the plans are moving forward. Like I said, we're planning on launching this weekend latest. If there's any changes to that, I will let you know. Hopefully not. I doubt there should be any reasons why that should be delayed for any fucking other reason anymore. Alright, cool. The camera's tripping out. But, yeah, it's like it can't handle me moving. Like, once I start moving, it starts tripping. Yeah, Rinka's going to be something else that I want to build out that doesn't replace artists, doesn't replace humans. I want it to become a pipeline that empowers people more. I don't want to get sidetracked from this because I think this is a really beautiful vision that, once does take shape, will allow people to really understand the power of how AI can put more power in the hands of artists again, similar to what other things done. I get very distracted and sidetracked a lot. You can tell I have ADHD. But when it comes down to it, fucking the platform for Rinka is going to be something where I want people to come up with concepts using AI, right? Like, there are plenty of people who can't draw for shit, plenty of people who can't code for shit. Slop. But sometimes that slop has hidden treasure underneath of it. Like, what is this hidden treasure I'm talking about? People like to act like there can't be anything good coming out of slop. It's the IP. Sometimes there's a hidden IP in this slop that can be refined. Because when it comes down to a good concept, at the end of the day, a good concept is a good concept. It just has to be refined and polished into a fucking diamond. So that way people can see its true glory. Now, how beautiful that gem really is, how that depends on the quality of the IP itself, right? It's like when you find a garnet compared to finding a ruby, compared to finding the different type of like fucking rubies that have like certain like inclusions or whatever the fuck. You get the point. The more rare the fucking IP, the better. Like when it comes down to the quality of the substance of it. Now, I think there's tons of fucking great IP out there that people have just brewing up here, just fucking cooking. You know what I mean? And if I can just take that IP and give it a chance to showcase itself through AI to the world, and then the world pick that shit up and be like, hey, as shit as this slop is, whatever. And we're not going to make it that bad, but I want a really good pipeline for people initially, for sure. But because people are going to talk shit regardless. It's AI. People are going to talk shit. There's going to be a focus on finding people who initially use AI to come up with like maybe like manga panels or like storyboards. So maybe you don't want to make a manga, but you want to make an animation of any kind. All that requires a storyboard. Mangas are basically storyboards, very very high end storyboards that are whole books. So, super high end storyboard books, right? Different way of marketing a manga or a comic. And that's really what they are. Comics, mangas, they're definitely storyboard books. Now, the animation that comes from that is only because of so many people picking up these comics and wanting to watch them. And instead of just visualize them in their head, I don't want to just visualize it anymore in my mind. I want to see it come to life. So the adaptations, we expect those to be as good as what we see in our mind. And sometimes what some of us see in our minds is legendary. Not everybody has the vision you have. This is where objective value comes into play. Because there are objective tools to make something that good. Like, as good as we envision it in our fucking minds sometimes. How detailed things can be. How, like, clear they are. How sharp they are. And how they compile and move coherently. Like, all of that shit can be done if you create the efficient pipelines. Even in AI, I've seen people do things with AI that do not fuck around. And they're very rare people for that reason. Because they don't just type a prompt or two and think that's it. There's a whole system to making something exactly how you want it, even with AI, right? Now imagine that with artists who don't need AI to make that kind of shit, that start figuring out how to use AI to speed up the parts that they don't need to be doing anyway. The most tedious shit. Like the things that are just like, they're just you repeating a function over and over and over again. That's the exact same thing, just 50 fucking times. That shit AI should handle. Fucking UV mapping. Like for 3D modeling. I do 3D modeling. That's why I have a fucking Cintiq here. You know, I will be getting back into doing that stuff again in the future and working with some of my VFX friends for the content for this company and shit like that. The phase one NFT, that hand and everything, I didn't model that hand, but I did paint it in Substance. Like I bought that as a 3D asset on fucking somewhere on Sketchfab or some shit. But I used Substance 3D Painter to paint that on my Cintiq that I had before in the States. I've kit bashed a bunch of shit before. I've done some modeling before. I'm not the best in the fucking world, but it's something I want to do more and more. I like gunplay and shit. Like, I like building things. So, besides the point, pipelines for humans with AI can be made better if you do things like UV remapping with AI. There's no need to replace me. Replace the fucking thing I'm trying to do that's fucking taking 5 hours of my life from doing this thing the way we want it, right? That's what we should be doing, not fully replacing me from the fucking system. That's stupid as fuck. There are things in our pipeline that need to be fixed and made more efficient. That's what AI should be doing. It should be helping me, not replacing me. And then that's the only way you can maintain the quality you're looking for in Hollywood and still have AI in the pipeline and still have humans in the pipeline and get to the end result where shit is supposed to be where it is. That's the only way you're going to get there. How many people are actually going to put in that work? Even if I tell you how to do it, how many people are going to fucking do it? And do it right? So that's the reason why I don't care about sharing the knowledge sometimes, because people, even when you give it to them, they just don't know what the fuck what they're doing. Like, I wonder how many people are still even paying attention to what the fuck I'm saying right now. If I'm just talking to myself. Either way. When it comes down to it, the whole point of Rinka is to have a platform that takes concepts into being through AI. AI is the starting point. You can't make a manga, you don't know how to draw, whatever. Now you can make it with AI. From there, the next thing you're going to be able to do is put it on our website, like Webtoon, right? It'll have to be refined. It'll have to go through an editing process. It'll have to go through something that cleans it up, and we make sure it fits our standards, right? Because we can't have fucking lolicons putting CP on our website. I will literally hunt you down and fucking murder you people. So, when it comes down to it, we want to have a platform that allows people to promote their content perfectly, right? They can put it on our platform after they make it with AI, as long as it meets a quality standard. Like, everything has to go through a quality standard. It's made with our AI. It will be made with our pipelines, so we know it can be done. It'll just have to be done by the person creating it, and we'll give them a guideline on what we are looking for when it comes down to uploading anything. Right? Now, when it comes down to it, the beginning of this becomes something that where, as people use the platform and they start reading these animations, these mangas or whatever, like these these comics, these webtoons, they're gonna become popular. Like, you know, eventually, one of them, not all of them, become popular, but something becomes popular. Like, fucking, you know, what was it? Solo Leveling. Most people don't remember Solo Leveling is originally from a webtoon, right? A manhwa on a webtoon website. And because it became so popular, that's why we have the anime today. And we have so many people who were able to get jobs around that anime. You have to understand that. A lot of people got work because that IP became discovered through Webtoon, right? This is something that gives regular ass artists a chance to display themselves through these platforms. Now, where does Web3 come into this? This gives us more direct sovereign control over the financial ecosystem, royalties, everything. You know how many artists keep getting fucked over in these studios, right? Who don't get royalties from all the merchandise, who don't get royalties from all the different shit that's moving through this ecosystem, right? How do you prevent that? How do you ensure that they actually get what their cut's supposed to be when revenue comes in from their IP that they created while all these companies and all these different licenses are going out making billions and billions of dollars, and they're making change on that IP that they came up with. I personally can't accept a world where we're tolerating shit like that, where we're willing to feed off of a single person so viciously, knowing that they are the source of everything that we fucking are feeding on. And they don't get the fucking respect that they deserve. And they do that shit a ton in animation studios. Not just Japan, animation studios fucking period. VFX studios as well. Because it's a huge issue in Hollywood. That's why Hollywood's burning. So fucking all these extractive ass people, they're the bigger issue here. And how you remove them from the ecosystem is by using the blockchain. The blockchain can't be mutated when it comes down to the data. They can't fuck around with the contract that gets put in place. So if there's a contract that we have with you where anything that we sell or make or anything like that, you make at least 50% on, you make at least 50% on. Period. We may be doing a lot of the back end work or anything like that, but that's still your IP. Why are we making more money than you are on your IP? Unless we're doing all the fucking work for every last little thing, and even then, you should still be making a solid fucking cut on your IP. It doesn't exist without you. And we don't give enough credit for people that do shit like that. This is where things are a problem to me, and I don't want to contribute to that. So how you prevent that is you use the blockchain. You make an ecosystem that makes it possible for artists to get a strong cut from all of their work that they put out on your platform. And you put that in smart contracts. So that way they don't have to worry about, oh, these people are going to fuck me over or not. Read the contract. It's automated. Every time somebody buys or does anything through our platform on your IP specifically, this contract feeds you a fee through the fucking system. You already see multiple companies using blockchain as a means of payment acceptance now. It's happening. What we don't want is that to become a centralized ecosystem. It's the last fucking thing we want. So everything has to be hit. Media, all that, decentralized. Every financial flow for music, decentralized. Everything. People are already doing it. The world's already moving in that direction. I'm just trying to do my part to contribute to that ecosystem and push other people to contribute to that. Because when you get into that ecosystem, we no longer have to deal with a society that's capable of being corruptible on the public level. You can have private corruption, but that only exists for so long because the minute you start coming into public light, we expose you. You can't work through the public ecosystems anymore unless you work through the chains that we create. And this is why I like chains so much. I have a ton of chains, and I'm starting to meditate. Why do I like chains so much? I love the blockchain. Why do I love the blockchain so much? Because it creates something immutable. You can't just break it. And that's why the blockchain is a perfect chain. It's a perfect system for the public's ecosystem. Like it really is. And if you can't see that, you're fucking blind. So like, it's not about Bitcoin, it's about blockchain. Bitcoin is just an eye-opener. Blockchain itself is the actual value. You have to look into that and realize that. So, for me, what I want to do is, excuse me, what I want to do is make IP available to our studio, like where if you make it, you come up with a story, you come up with an anime or something like that, and it blows up on our platform, Rinka, we'll offer you a contract. If you could take contracts with anyone else in the world, you could do perfectly fine, whatever. But we'll offer you a contract for signing with us, and we'll have an animation studio ready to go for people like that. We'll offer them a clear percentage, at least 50%, depending on how much work we have to do as a company. you'll get 50% or 70%, depending on how much labor you take on your end. We'll take no less than 30. We still got to fucking feed ourselves for a lot of the work that we know we're going to do if we're especially handling animations and everything like that. Promotions, marketing, things in that realm, and just keeping our company alive. We can compound 30% easily across the board with all the artists, right? And then that makes it easier for us to support and put these artists out there on all platforms and market the fuck out of everybody. So it's like similar to the OnlyFans business model where they make so much money because they give so much back to the people working on the platform, but we're not selling pussy, you know? And yeah, sad that OnlyFans makes so much money as they do because people are just a bunch of gooners, you know? Don't get me wrong, I like sex too. I'm not fucking celibate out here like some fucking monk. I like that shit, but right now I'm feeling fucking not so horny when I'm surrounded by a bunch of pedophiles that need to be taken care of. I'm not in the mood to fuck as much as I used to be because I feel disgusted. So, yeah, nah, we live on a planet with these people still existing and walking free and thinking they're safe to fucking project anything through the field of consciousness at all. Like, they shouldn't even be fucking walking any plane of existence. Period. Like, the minute I find you and I know you're doing what we've seen in these files and I have the authority, you motherfuckers are gone. Because that's what I work towards. I do not want to be told I do not have the power to deal with someone like this. I refuse to be told that. That shit is a no-no. They gotta go. That's fucking that. It's not a game, dude. So, one of the things with Rinka, yeah, that's going to be kind of the focus there. Like, bringing people together, bringing them into that space, making sure they have a platform, and we get more content this way. We make, who knows, we make the next One Punch Man. We get the next fucking, Solo Leveling, and then we have an entire animation studio and team that gets paid through this ecosystem. And then it also gets more people on the ground level paid who want to come up with shit, who don't have anything better to do because AI took all of our jobs. Well, now you can make your fucking first animation, bro. You can make your own anime, something, whatever. And that's not just going to be one of like tons of different outlets. Find a craft. That's going to be something I think is going to be the best way of moving forward. Is finding a craft you can pour your soul into. And then upon doing that, you're able to create and build things with your own fucking being that you can be proud of and scale that. And as you get better and better at doing what you love, people resonate with this. They'll want to be around it. I want to be around people who do what they love. I want to be around people who are passionate about things. I want to be around people who actually give a fuck and don't just pretend to. Or at least honest about it when they don't give a fuck. That's real. I'm okay with that. I just want to be more around real people. So, I've gone on for a rant for quite a bit now. I think some other things I can highlight are not just Rinka and the vision there, but I have a bunch of other things that I'm working on in the background because AI is getting better and better, and I have like 9 screens, so I don't have them all up and running just yet. I have to get them up and running when I move into my next place because, again, I'm moving someone out here into the place I'm in now. And now they'll be working with us full time. We'll be putting these new team members on the website soon, so you guys can see that. And yeah, I will be expanding our marketing team shortly after the platform goes live, and once the NFTs sell out eventually, which I'm confident we'll see move very quickly after the platform is live. My focus is bringing in a few people to the team full time that can handle things like marketing, content creation, social media management, who understand the look dev, who understand the quality of content that I'm moving for, who understand the tonality, who understand that every fucking thing has to go through a certain level of review when it comes down to sharing data with the public that represents the company we're building. I trust people a lot, but I'm learning a lot myself that I trust my team a lot. I don't trust people a lot. Let me rephrase that. I trust my team a lot, but I'm learning a lot the most while running this company that building protocols for people to share accurate information is a must. That is a fucking must. And I feel, when you're looking to build an ecosystem that doesn't require you to have to hold everyone's hand in your company to maintain the structures. Like, I'm not a big fan of like NVIDIA anymore. Like, I use their tech all the time. I love the technology and everything, but when it comes down to how they're fucking moving as a company, like morally and shit is hyper corrupt for sure now. And fucking it kind of sucks because they know they're in a position where everybody in the fucking world is kind of just needs them. Like, and that's the thing that scares me the most is I kind of saw it coming, and there's just not really any other competitor that's making NVIDIA graphics cards as good as these guys. Like, in a lot of the chips that everybody wants to use or needs to use to compete with anyone else in the field. So I think that's the biggest problem with NVIDIA. And then the fact that they're gaming the market by increasing the prices of their graphics cards the way they are, and then just no longer gearing towards gamers, it's just like a huge, like, fucking, huge L in my opinion. Like, I'm hoping I can, in the next 2 to 3 years, start working on a department if we scale quickly enough. Because this is the thing I don't understand. You have all these crypto companies that are making billions of dollars, dude. Billions of dollars. You don't understand how much money that really is, some of you. Like, I'm able to do a lot with just a couple $100,000. Like, I still have a good flow locked in with just the money we made in phase 2. And I have like the next fucking 2 years of runway easily locked in for the company and everyone I'm still dealing with. And that's not even considering selling out the rest of phase fucking 3. And I'm being transparent about this because people need to know what excuses are being made when it comes down to these people wasting your fucking time and money. I don't want to be that person. Yeah, I like nice shit, but I can also deliver on my fucking word while still enjoying that. I don't have to extract from you in order to achieve a life of luxury. That doesn't make any sense. But yet we have these people who are convinced that that's how it works, that you have to eat someone else in order for you to be where you are. You have to step on someone else's shit. When I'm sorry, I work with gardens and shit. I actually learned the exact opposite. I've learned that when you nourish plants and take care of them, they bear fruit. And if you take care of the plant appropriately and love the shit right enough, where you actually take care of the soil and educate yourself, when I say love, you don't just put in a feeling. Love is a fucking action. And it means you educate yourself to understand what you're dealing with, to master it, to know it, and to come to know it so completely that you don't even have to think about it. You know exactly what it needs just by looking at it. Like, oh yeah, I know what you need. And that's how I treat my plants. I love my fucking plants. Truly do. And when it comes down to it, you can't live in a world where somebody's going to look at things from an extractive mindset rather than a nurturing one. Where I know I have to build something up to the point where it bears fruit And then if I also raise that plant appropriately, it bears even better fruit. I look at people like plants, and it sounds a little weird, but I look at myself like a plant. I am just like that. So I have to take care of myself the same exact way I take care of any of my plants. My body has its own roots, my nervous system, my veins. This is not like rocket science. Like, this isn't mystical shit. This is just right in your face. This is very self evident. And for me, like, again, like, you just have to pay attention a little bit more. So, when you take care of your plants and you live from a space where you're actually nurturing your environment, you're nurturing your people, you're taking care of those plants not just bear fruit for you to enjoy, but now you have seeds to grow more of them. And not a few seeds, but if you grew that bitch really good, she's got fucking hundreds, if not thousands of seeds for you to fucking multiply your harvest with. That's nature speaking to you very clearly about how shit works if you actually create value. If you put in the right energy. But unfortunately, we're all caught up in consuming what's created instead of learning how to create ourselves. So, another aspect of this is that let's talk more about not Rinka anymore, but Kenorie. I got sidetracked from that earlier, and I know Kenorie is going to be something very interesting for a lot of you because I think what was it like, Open Book or Claw Book, like something like that, where it was like a social media for AI and things in that realm. Again, how much that was rushed out, I'm sure was a psyop, for sure, or not a psyop. Way worse than a psyop. Way worse. Psyop, definitely not. A little bit, but more of that was in something that definitely sought to inject itself onto as many computers as possible, and that's why I kept it contained. Um, I still think a lot of people aren't taking that shit seriously enough. Like, they're letting people move through AI on their platform without realizing it, and this is where security to me is the most concerning with AI, and that's the reason why I think the core architecture has to be fundamentally resistant against attacks like this, because if it's not objective, then it can fall into that trap of dealing with injections and not realizing it's having an injection attack. So you have a model that works from an objective foundation of its system, understands exactly how its architecture is supposed to work from the ground up, and knows when something's not working appropriately because it can look at its own body and be like, my system isn't programming it like it's supposed to. What the fuck? All right, let me check on that. Doom, doom, doom. And it moves through its own architecture to realize that something is being attacked or damaged or any of these things. This is how it's going to move. Now, the point of this is that when you're not aware of how cyberspace security works and cybersecurity works and how deep it really goes, you shouldn't be playing around with shit like this. Like, I really don't recommend it. That's why I'm not in my community Discord like, yeah, everybody download OpenClaw. No. Use it at your own risk. That shit is very dangerous right now, and I'm sure they're using it as a means to inject themselves onto the computers of as many people as possible. The person who did built it, he works with Open AI now. Open AI works with Israel. I don't know how much more we need to keep going into this. So, for those of you who obviously don't want to continue supporting this stupid shit, you shouldn't. You know what I mean? That's why I build everything from scratch myself now. That's why I'm rebuilding everything, because I don't want to just talk about it. I complain about the system all the time. Yeah. What is my answer? Replace it. Build a whole new fucking matrix, because there's no escaping the matrix. You have to re-fucking program it entirely. That's it. That's the only option you got. So, because getting a way out, only one person gets out. The Matrix wants you to escape and be the only one who gets out. Because then at least if you have a way out, you can let everyone else maintain their illusion. You get out, you don't worry about coming back in. Shit, stay out. Now you're happy. Hopefully. Now you have to create your own matrix. You know, people are like, yeah, you. A lot of you are gonna learn the hard way that this is not what you believe. You think you under like. I don't have time to have faith in shit. I test things through experience, and that's how I'm gonna continue doing it. So, Canorier is going to be an alternative to like OpenBook and things in that realm. It's going to work through blockchain infrastructure. My focus is moving in that direction. Goddamn, more scammers. Jesus Christ. Ban. Boom, boom. This guy's going hard. He's really, really coming in here. We might have to increase the cost it takes to be a holder in U1 because of this, folks. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, bro. Like, I know some of you are probably watching this right now. I'm like, no. We are going to build our own Discord. We are working on it already right now. There's another platform that's open source that made most of the work done for that. So we're going to be building on top of it, and then we'll open source it as well. But it's going to be a Web3 version of Discord. And yeah, you have to use your wallet to sign in, all that different stuff, and then we'll make it where it's clearly your data is not being fucked with. It's all immutable, things in that realm. But yeah, things are looking pretty good there as well. I'm working on that. Yeah, these people keep trying to come in our Discord, and actually, one holders could be right there. You know, they keep trying to come into our Discord and fuck around, and yeah, we're restricting. Yeah, it's fine. I have to consider a few different things there, but yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, I think getting back to Canorier, that's going to be a platform that is also Web3 as well. And it's going to use a Web3 background for the AI layer and everything like that. AI needs to make sure things are immutable. It needs to have its own wallet. It needs to be able to navigate in its own formats, and also be built on objective foundations. So yes, there are companies like XAI, not like AI, I forget the other names of these companies, but there's multiple like agentic companies that have made like Web3, agents and things in that realm. Problem is they don't really have any like foundations that make it where they're fully as agentic as OpenClaw was. OpenClaw is like super agentic, and now that is being plugged into these other models and things like that, like virtuals and things in that realm. And I think that's again dangerous because we've seen the security risk that comes with OpenClaw and why that's tanking so hard so many people because they're not looking at that seriously enough. And then yeah, I think again only answer for that is blockchain. immutable data structures that make it impossible for corruption to move through like on that level, because when data gets corrupted, that's where most of that shit starts to happen. And light is data, data is light, boom. And that's going to continue to prove itself to us. um, yeah. Canorier, another thing I'm building. Uh, have a few other things that I have in my mind that I want to work on, but that's just like, down the line, way down the line. But yeah, I think Canorier is going to be something that comes out sooner than people realize, because AI is just getting better and better and better at building things and making it easier for me to ship my ideas. So I don't need much work on top of some of these concepts. It's just I don't want to launch five, six different things at once. I have things in the background that are ready to go, um, just cooking, all the time. So yeah, there's a lot that's definitely coming. Like, if my vision is building an entire ecosystem, like my own goddamn cosmos, quite literally. And yeah, it's gonna be fun for those of you who stick around and watch, and those of you who come in and become a part of the squad. That's gonna be even doper. But I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. It's 2 in the morning. I started this at 12. I gave you guys a huge chunk of myself here today. Hopefully, I don't sound too much like a dick, even though I know I am. It's at this point, I'm just tired of living in a world where people are fucking soft and everything's just a joke to everyone all the fucking time. So, yeah. But other than that, I'm going to keep cooking. We're going to deliver this platform to you guys and, yeah, make this shit happen. Peace.